Hello, abnormal family. Good to see y'all on this Sunday, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I hope you have a great day with your children, and I hope it's a blessed one and that you make many memories today and for many more Father's Days to come. I want to thank you guys for supporting our other channel, AI Seeking the Truth with Kaylee on it. And then the other channel is our outdoor channel, Wide Open Adventures, that Hunter usually runs. And I want to thank you all for going over and subscribing to it also, as he loves to watch those numbers grow. I don't know, he just loves people. He's a good kid. And I love him so very much. He's not just my son, but he's my best friend. Guys, I want to get into this encounter, so we'll go ahead and jump into it. Again, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Mike, I am not good at writing, but I'm going to do my best to at least be able to get the story out there. I hope that I do well enough that you all understand what I'm talking about. As I cast my line into the water, I had just got off work and decided to beat the storms that were coming from the horizon. So I went to the lake and thought, hey, maybe I can get some fishing in before the storms hit. I'd had a really bad week at work. So it was Friday night, and I decided to go fishing before the storms hit. So as I cast my line into the water, the stars began to twinkle above me, and the lake surface reflected the night sky like a dark mirror. The air, it was filled with sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the faint smell of the ozone reminded me of the storm that was closing in. I felt a sense of peace wash over me as I waited for a bite, the only sound being the gentle lapping of the water against the shore. The world seemed to slow down, and all that mattered was the present moment, and trust me, I needed that. Suddenly, my line started to tug, and I felt a surge of excitement. Hell, I've got a bite! I exclaimed, my voice barely above a whisper as I was alone. As I reeled in my catch, the sky lit up with the flash of lightning, illuminating the lake and surrounding trees. It was a moment of almost pure magic. As I pulled the catfish into the light of my lantern, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Something had went right this week. It was a beautiful, beautiful night, and with this beautiful catfish with its sleek whiskers and shimmering scales, I carefully removed the hook from its mouth. And hell, I'll even admit, I stood there and admired it for a while. Just then, another flash of lightning illuminated the sky, and I heard the distant rumble of the thunder. The warm air rushed across the lake, but the storm was getting closer. I didn't care. I was on a roll now, Mike. I'd cast my line back out into the water, feeling a thrill of anticipation as I waited for another bite. And then it happened. Again, my line started to tug, and I knew I had another fish on the hook. This one was putting up quite a fight, and I grinned to myself as I reeled it in. I was going to be a hell of a bragger in the morning with all the fish that I was catching. As the night wore on, my stringer grew heavier and heavier, filled with the assortment of catfish, bass, and even a few panfish. I didn't care. I was just trying to fill that freezer. I was on a hot streak, and the fish seemed to be biting everything I threw at them, so why not? The storm finally rolled in, casting a misty veil over the lake. The wind picked up a little bit, rustling the weeds and the cattails, but honestly, I hardly even noticed. I was too busy hauling in fish and admiring the good old handiwork. As the stringer filled up, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. This was what fishing was all about, the thrill of the catch, the peacefulness of the water, and the joy of reeling in a big one. I grinned to myself, knowing that this night was a night that I would always remember for a long time. I needed this night. As I rummaged through my truck for a bag of beef jerky, I caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye. At first, it was a tree or a bush, I thought. But then the lightning flashed again, and I saw him clearly. He was a tall, gaunt, and standing perfectly still, gazing out across the lake. Oh man, my heart fluttered and skipped a beat as I wondered who the mysterious man was that he was standing out here in the middle of the night. I tried to get a better look, but the darkness had closed in again, and I was left with only my imagination to fill in the blanks. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized I was alone out here, with only my fishing gear and my dwindling supply of snacks to keep me company. I quickly grabbed my flashlight and shone it in the direction of the figure, but there was no one there. The beam of light danced across the water, casting an eerie shadow on the surrounding trees, and I thought, damn, I'm turning that light off and I'm not doing that again. That was freaky. My heart was racing. I peered into the darkness, trying to locate the source of the whistle that I'd just heard. It was a low, mournful sound like someone was summoning a spirit from the depths of the lake. So I reached down and I grabbed my .38 Special tightly, my finger, resting on the trigger. Suddenly the whistle stopped and an unsettling silence fell over the lake. I scanned the shoreline and now, hell, my peacefulness has went to paranoia. My flashlight beamed, darting back and forth, but I saw nothing, only the sound of the distant rumble of thunder and the lapping of the water against the shore, but I was jumping at every shadow. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves. Maybe it was just a stray animal or a lost hiker, I told myself. But the voice in the back of my head, man, it kept scaring me. It kept whispering to me, what if it's something more sinister? I stood there, frozen, waiting for something to happen. You know that feeling. I'm sure you've all felt that too. I was shocked and terrified as I watched the creature make off with my stringer of fish. Yeah, I'm standing at my truck, probably 40 yards, and then I see this thing run straight out of the darkness, rip my stringer out of the water, and took my fish. It was massive, at least 7 feet tall and covered in dark. It looked like scaly skin to me the way it glimmered. It seemed to absorb the light from my flashlight, though. As I shined my flashlight on it, it's like it sucked the light in. If you didn't know it was there, oh, you'd honestly miss it with a flashlight. I'm talking, it totally sucks the light in. I could not believe what I was looking at. I felt a chill even run down my spine. But without thinking, yep, I done it, Mike. I raised my .38 Special and I fired a warning shot into the air. The creature didn't even flinch. It just kept running, my fish bouncing along behind it like a parade. I knew I had to act fast. I couldn't just let it get away with my catch. Yeah, not thinking clearly, I know. I took off in a hot pursuit, my heart pounding in my chest. The creature was fast, but I was determined. I chased it along the shoreline, my flashlight beam bobbing up and down as I ran. Suddenly it darted into the woods, and I followed with my gun at the ready. My hot temper, yep, it had got a hold of me. As I burst into the woods, I realized my mistake. The creature was long gone, but the stringer of fish was actually dangling from a branch, taunting me. I slowed down, my breathing heavy, and approached the tree. As I reached out to grab my fish, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I had been so caught up in the chase that I hadn't even thought it through. Now I realized that I'd let my anger get the best of me, and I've done that a lot, Mike. And I'd had a terrible week, and I was pissed off, and honestly, I didn't care if the thing killed me or not. I carefully removed my fish from the branch and examined them. They were still fresh, and I felt a sense of gratitude towards the creature for not damaging them. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm. And I said, I guess you owe me one. I said aloud, looking around in the darkness, but next time just ask me for some damn fish. I chuckled, feeling a bit silly for talking to a creature that was probably long gone. I made my way back to the truck, fish in hand, feeling a bit wiser and more grateful for the unexpected adventure. As I drove away from the lake, my fish safely stored in the cooler, I couldn't help but reflect on my actions. I knew my temper had gotten the best of me, and I was lucky that things hadn't turned out worse. It had been a tough week, with one thing after another going wrong. My truck had broken down, I'd gotten into a fight with my boss, and to top it all off, my favorite baseball team had lost the championship. You know, one of those man things. I'd been feeling like I was at my wit's end, and the creature that stole my fish had just been the final straw. But as I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw the lake receding the distance, and I felt a sense of peace wash over me. Maybe, just maybe, this strange encounter had been exactly what I needed to snap me out of this funk. And who knows, maybe I'd even learned a valuable lesson about keeping my cool in the face of the adversary. But one thing is for sure. I was never going to forget this wild and crazy night at the lake that I'd just had. And I don't endorse anybody chasing a creature like I did or having a temper like I do, but man, things were going bad for me. I didn't even know how I was going to pay my electric bill, and I knew they were about to turn it off, and I didn't have no money for nothing. And when you get to that point, sometimes a man just snaps whenever something just tries to take everything you got. And the fish, I felt like, was my last thing. Thanks for sharing my encounter. I love your channel, and I'll continue to watch. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't encourage anybody to go chasing something into the woods. Even if you would have thought it was a human, they're also dangerous. If you'd have chased them in there, there could have been more than one. It could have been feral people. There's no telling what you could have ran into. It sounds to me like it knew you were chasing it and you wasn't going to stop, so it just hung the fish to stop you from chasing it. I think you got pretty lucky. I hope things have turned out better for you. I hope that things have turned around for you and things have got easier. I think we all go through these times, and I just hope that things have gotten better for you, man. And I hope you have a happy Father's Day. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for smashing the like button. And until next time, don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one.